My craft requires an absence. I am a Foley artist and sound designer, and for my work to live, the world around me must be dead silent. That's what brought me to the old farmhouse. It stood 2 miles down a dirt road, cradled by fallow fields, a forgotten island in a sea of grass. The silence was perfect, a thick, heavy blanket I could wrap myself in. My first week was bliss. I set up my equipment in the large, wood-floored living room. Directional microphones, a parabolic dish, preamps, and my high-fidelity recorder. My first task was always the same: to capture the room tone, the unique sonic fingerprint of a silent space. It's the sound of nothing, and every nothing is different. I placed a hypersensitive condenser mic in the center of the room, cranked the gain to its absolute maximum, and let it record for an hour. Later, in my headphones, I listened back to the captured void. There was the gentle hum of the house settling, the whisper of air through a keyhole, and something else, a faint, rhythmic sigh, like a sleeping breath, too deep and slow to be my own. I dismissed it, an anomaly, air pressure, old wiring. The next day, I recorded in the upstairs bedroom. The playback revealed the same sigh, but this time, it was accompanied by a faint, melodic humming. The tune was childlike, simple, and deeply unsettling in the context of the empty house. I became obsessed. I wasn't just a sound designer anymore. I was an archaeologist excavating layers of forgotten sound. I moved my equipment from room to room, chasing the echoes. The kitchen held the ghost of a clinking teacup and a woman's soft weeping. The hallway held the frantic patter of small, running feet. The sounds were always faint, buried deep beneath the noise floor, audible only when the recordings were amplified to an almost painful degree. They were residual memories, imprinted on the very fabric of the house. A dark history was emerging, one whisper at a time. The real estate agent had mentioned the previous tenants. A family from the 1950s had left suddenly. He didn't know why. The climax of my search came in the small room at the end of the upstairs hall, the child's bedroom. I set up every piece of my gear, pointing it all at the center of the room. I wanted to capture it all, to hear the story. I hit record and left the house for hours, letting the silence work its magic. That night, I sat in the darkness, headphones clamped over my ears, and pressed play. First, the familiar sighing breath, then the humming, then the weeping from the kitchen, clearer now, closer, the patter of feet, a child's giggle, sharp and sudden, then a new sound, a man's voice, low and angry, muffled as if from another room. The weeping grew into sobs. The child's giggle turned into a cry of fear. "No, please," the woman's voice pleaded, now clear as day in my ears. "He's just a boy." A door slammed. The boy screamed. A heavy, sickening thud. And then silence. A true, dead silence that was different from the house's usual tone. The echoes of the past were gone. I held my breath, my heart hammering against my ribs. That's when I heard the new sound. It wasn't an echo. It was crisp, present, and immediate. It was the sound of a slow, deliberate scrape, like a fingernail being dragged across the wooden floor inside the room with the microphone. It was coming towards the mic. I ripped the headphones from my head, my ears ringing. The living room was pitch black and silent, but on my recorder's display, the input levels were pulsing. A frantic, jagged red line, spiking in time with a sound I could no longer hear. The sound of something right there, in the room with me, inspecting my equipment. I didn't pack. I didn't even grab my wallet. I ran out into the night and didn't stop until the headlights of my car painted the main road. I live in the city now. My apartment is never quiet. The traffic, the sirens, the neighbors, I welcome it all. It's my shield. I left thousands of dollars of equipment in that farmhouse, but it doesn't matter. Can have it. I will never seek silence again, because I know what's listening in the quiet. I know that some places don't just have memories. They have a memory of their own.